Good morning. It's Dr. Bill Williams coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia on the Influencers Podcast. And I'm very pleased today to bring a cybersecurity expert to talk to us, a very appropriate topic. This is Sean from Team. He told me how to say it, but I forgot. Cymru? No. All right, Sean, I got to bring you on. You got to say it, man. What is the name of your company?
It is Team Cymru.
Cymru. See, I told you I could never do it. And he told me why. And explain to us the derivation of that name first. And then I want you to tell us where you were, what happened, and what you were surrounded by. Was it leprechauns that made you do what you're doing today?
Yes, absolutely. And I appreciate you having me on to talk with you today, Dr. Bill. So Cymru, in short, is a Welsh term for Wales. So
wow.
So it's basically Wales. So
I love it.
That's the only people, better. Only people in the U.S. who know how to say that are from either the U.K. pretty much.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Cymru.
Yes.
Well, good. Thank you for sharing. That's wonderful. Give us the story about Team Cymru.
So Team Cymru is a cybersecurity information company. We have been around for nearly 20 years, providing relevant internet artifacts to cyber security analysts and investigators around the globe so that we can help to save and improve human lives, which is our mission statement. So we've been providing that to other companies and to again, end user cybersecurity analysts so that we can fight the threat of malicious actors on the internet.
Everybody needs what you're doing.
Yes.
And you've been doing it for 20 years, so you're not a newcomer on the block. You're tried true, got a lot of clients. You must have had some kind of starting feature here about, that was not a great success. Tell us about how you overcame your first failure or your biggest failure.
So this was an interesting question. So 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, I would have answered it the same way. Today, I probably will answer it differently. My greatest failure up to recent times, I would have said not following through with my childhood dream of athletics as one vector of success in life. I kind of went through the motions and allowed some people to tell me what I was and wasn't, when at the end of the day, I didn't look in the mirror and say I was, and didn't continue to do the work needed to continue to grow and go on and so on and so forth. So how did I recover from it? Unfortunately, I didn't realize that until my time was done in college. And I said to myself, that will never happen again. Anywhere, anything I ever do, I'm not going to let somebody tell me I can or cannot do this. I'm going to do the work. I'm going to be the best at it. And I'm going to just continue to grow. So it was an interesting time. So
I'm glad you persevered and made it.
Yeah. I mean, today, nearly 57-year-old Sean would say it was supposed to happen anyway. That's how it was laid out. It was what was going to teach you how to move forward. So there we go.
I like it. Now, in the cybersecurity business, people using the internet, particularly, they fail because they let things happen. Give us the 3 top reasons that things that you do should prevent things, but people don't maybe get your system or get any system. What is it, the 3 things people do that makes them fall victim?
So in the cybersecurity world, or really just in the interconnected world that we all live in now, with all of our devices, everybody's got 2 or 3 or 5 or 7 devices that are connected to the internet, is really just standard hygiene is one of the things that we talk about. And you as a personal person, not your corporate life, your at-home life of doing basic hygienic stuff, just like you would brush your teeth and wash your face every day, to not just put yourself all over the internet and provide your information to anyone without having good background and understanding in who or what they are and what they could use your information for, and potentially what the value of your information is out there in the universe. I mean, that probably could be 1, 2, and 3. As even from a corporate world, and where I work with in the public sector space, a lot often the biggest issue is people. It's not the technology, it's not the bad guys, because both of them are there. It's the people who make mistakes, and some are on purpose, some are just not paying attention, not focused on the culture that we have to live today. We've had to make changes for transportation. We've had to make changes for different things because of the threat to us. This is one of the things that we seem to be much more difficult in abiding to, or they continue to confuse us as people. So
I know what you're talking about.
yes.
People just don't do what they should do. Tell us what motivates you internally to go through each day and do what you do, Sean.
So I come from a legacy of people who served, who were public servants, and in many cases, in the pro bono and or charitable aspect. So, the saying is, to whom much is given, much is required. I almost feel like it's my duty. I feel that's part of my legacy. I want to continue that. That's what I was raised to understand. So trying to help in any ways, within my professional space and in my personal life, try to help people, and that motivates me. So that helps me get up every day. It's a driving thing. It's mission, part of my mission, personal mission.
I like it. Tell us, I think you mentioned something earlier. It sounded like a motto. Do you have a particular set motto you use?
Yeah, the company motto is to save and improve human lives. My personal motto is, I guess I could say, it's just keep going. Keep going.
Keep on, don't stop.
Yes.
What's your secret sauce that you can share with others?
So my top secrets are really, and I wanted to put this into good thought. So, and I'm drawing a blank on it just as I say that. Really, to not make so many decisions, and I might even give a juxtaposition here. Not make so many quick decisions, knee-jerk decisions, and juxtaposition. Try not to overanalyze things. Really try to continue to always. Here we go. I know. Never stop learning. Some of my success secrets were trying to always be with someone who was better at what I'm trying to do, so that I can learn and glean from them, and that those people are going to challenge me. I could say that when I was in athletics. I would say that in business. I would say that in other things, whatever. I would be with someone who is smarter, faster, stronger, whatever, to challenge me to move forward. Because that's, it's the butterfly scenario, I guess.
Yeah, one of our questions I always like to ask is, who's your mentor and who's your one you look up to? Who would that be?
So I have that in two parts. So I know there was a living mentor. So my mother who's still living, is a mentor for me, for someone who did a lot. In the time that she grew up, things were tougher. She managed to do quite well for herself in the stage when things for women weren't as open as they are today. And then the other realm, I have many different mentors that I sort of follow or glean to. As I said, it sort of falls into me sort of gravitating to people who will challenge me to grow. And I take it as constructive criticism, whether they offer it to me directly or just by example. And I realized, I said, oh, I'm not doing that. I should be doing that better. So I can't even say individual as a group of people that I look to.
Excellent. Well, I tended to follow the same thing. I had a 10-year attention span, I tell people, and I could do something really strong for 10 years, and I had to then change methods and go to do something different. And in dentistry, it's hard to change, so I just did 10 different disciplines and became excellent and trained in every discipline, from orthodontics to TMJ to implants to this, so, and then I got into marketing and management, and it's just, you got to keep yourself fresh. You got to have somebody that you can learn from to grow. Growth is about always looking for the next thing to motivate you as a person.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
So tell us, why should somebody buy from Team Cymru?
Because we are mission driven, so it sort of falls in line with my own sort of life mission. Because we have information or can possibly see information that can help you to defend your corporate and or government network against the threat, the ongoing and ever evolving threat. And it's a unique offering. So
you said governments and you said companies. What's your ideal client?
So I actually manage the public sector team. So I deal with government agencies around the globe. I have in the past worked with commercial clients. So for me, and I think even my peers on the commercial or private side would say, someone who's willing to and open to advanced capabilities, and then has the acumen to implement them. Because in my world, in the government space, my customers are also protecting everybody. They're supposed to be in charge of everybody. So it is me. Part of my public service is helping them to help us all.
So you guys, you protect the nuclear codes from the bad guys, huh? Maybe.
We try, yes.
Tell us about, how do you find the ideal client?
That's a good question. If I had a perfect answer for that, I might be retired by now. But it is actually, you have to get out and be willing to market yourself as an individual, as a company. Hopefully you have the right answers and can fulfill the promises and or ideas that you have. But you've got to get out, and now that we are post-pandemic and are back in person, get out and shake some hands, meet some people. Be it those in my world, there are events and things that you have to get out and see, because that's what.
Tell us what is it that you actually have as a product or a service.
So we have solutions, as I mentioned, that collect and see internet artifacts, information out there and we can see malicious activities. We have analysts who study what they're doing in our space in security, cybersecurity world. They call it tactics, techniques, and procedures. So we figure out those things that have those. Oh boy, I lost for words there. That have those common things that we, it's basically finding what they do normally, and then we can understand how to fight it later. And we provide some of that information to our customers. It is much more complex than that, but that's what it is.
I've not heard of Team Cymru before,
right?
But I have heard of, McAfee, and I've heard of Norton Antivirus, and consumer-oriented products. So
Yes.
how do you compare to these known things that the public would know about, and how do you actually crush? What is your competition, and how do you crush them as far as a competition going head to head when you're choosing between different products?
Good question. So the first one, we are not really consumer available product because of the complexity unless they are someone who is cybersecurity analysts and can understand how to use a lot of that internet telemetry and data. So it's another reason why you might not have heard of us. Also, for many years, it was by design that we really didn't want to be a known entity. So as you know, for a number of reasons, but it was just best that we just keep to ourselves, and the people and the community of interest, if you will, knew who we were. So how do we crush our competition? And frankly, we don't have any. That's not hyperbole on any level. There really aren't any other companies like ours, especially in today's market where the internet is so ubiquitous that people just would not want to be able to do what we do. And there's a level of partnership that we have that probably wouldn't happen if we didn't have the legacy that we had that's nearly 2 decades. So it is definitely a unique offering that we have.
I got a new appreciation. You definitely work in the basement.
Yes, or the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. Well, you protect the secrets.
Yes.
That's the key.
Yes.
What are the top 3 online programs that you guys might work with that somebody might be familiar with?
Threat hunting, some might know, cyber threat hunting, malicious and malware. People might be familiar with those terms. And NetFlow is something, again, this is somebody who might be in that realm, might understand. NetFlow is basically a term for the digital communications like this call that go on. So it's a digital communication, or the flow, basically the IP to IP, like from an old telephony description, me dialing your phone number to your phone number. That communication is NetFlow. So
we always heard about the NSA being able to listen in and study stuff all around the globe. Are you part of the system that actually looks at information flow like that between nations, regions, individuals? So you actually monitor?
We actually, our tools are query based. So we have a collection of just raw data of the internet. We don't quote unquote monitor anybody, certainly not individuals, but it is really about routers to routers. And we see traffic, and then you would come to us, the query portal that we have, you would ask of your IP addresses in your network, who have you seen us speak to? And we can show you what we've seen. Now the internet is well beyond what we can totally collect, but we may see some things. So,
So everybody's always concerned about one thing that always bugs me when I hear friends get attacked is the ransomware.
Yes.
Are you able to speak about ransomware and how your company can kind of combat that?
Yes. So ransomware. So going back to my comment a few minutes ago about tactics, techniques, and procedures from malicious actors, often we're able to see that activity across the internet, our analysts, just by looking for those common things that all relate to, that's something bad. When we give that information to our customers, and we actually have even a whole community services offering that we give to companies and government agencies for free about what we've seen, what's out there, what we know as bad. So we have the ability to tell them that once they use our tool, that if your any of your IP addresses, your communications are with any of these threat actors, you might want to block this one or that one, that we know that they have an infrastructure that includes ransomware and other malicious tools that they may inject into your environment. So
I know a dentist who got his office shut down with that, so it's like very fresh on my mind.
it is. Most people, even small businesses, nobody is immune to this. There's a few other major ransomware attacks that have happened over the few years, who were smaller businesses that were connected to or supply chain businesses to a much larger entity, and the attacker got to the larger entity through that small business.
I'm always thinking that there should be a SEAL team that is dedicated for ransom creators, and we just unleash them whenever we find them.
It's I mean, there within, I know in the US government, we do have teams like that, but the threat is so large, it is hard to get your arms around it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you can identify who and where, that's all we need, right?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, the technology is such that, one person can launch thousands. So
Let me ask you about 5-star client experience. Describe how you deliver it.
So I would deliver that in such that we'd find out exactly what the client need is, present them with an opportunity to whatever we can provide that will provide those answers that they're looking for, give them an opportunity to test it in their environment for free, get an understanding, allow them to collaborate with us about how we would architect that solution for them that meets their budgetary confinements for that year, and their capabilities and acumen of the staff. And that can the success story on that end would be that they get what they were looking to seek, and that they continue to be a customer throughout.
Is that going to turn them into a brand ambassador to speak highly and get you clients by word of mouth? Is that
Yes.
common?
Yes, and frankly, that's how a lot of this company grew, because we were really not trying to be in the public eye. A lot of our growth is grassroots. The community, the cybersecurity community is pretty small in the grand scheme of IT, but they talk to each other. Everybody has friends, and hey, did you have this? Do you know these guys? And I still grow that way.
Sounds like you should be grateful for a lot of things. What else are you grateful for?
Yeah, that's a couple things. I'm grateful for life. I have a lot of people that I know, friends or otherwise, who are not here anymore.
Yeah.
I'm at the age where, most of my friends, my peers in the same age range, have maybe one or no parents left. All of our grandparents are gone. So we are moving up the chain in the hierarchy in the families, which is a daunting idea, meaning there's more family behind me than in front of me. So I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for the life that I've been given. And I'm grateful for my family, which should have been first, as I said, but I'm grateful for that.
I know what it's like to be the apex of a family chart.
Yes. And I don't know if I'm mentally ready for that, but it's happening whether I'm ready or not. So
How do you start your day every day, Sean?
So daily, I literally started with breathing for about a minute, just 10 deep breaths. Yes, quietly. I meditate for about 5 minutes, and then I get dressed and I go to the gym 5 days a week.
My guy that I talked to earlier this week said he starts it off with water.
I have that before I go to the gym. Just water.
I have to remember to do that because I've always not done that. And I can easily breathe without thinking about it, but I don't drink water without thinking about it.
Yes. That's true. That's true.
Dehydration will get you.
Yes.
And what is your plan to achieve your goal of expanding and growing Cymru?
So my plans are really about evangelizing the need to continue to grow their cybersecurity situational awareness. That's almost a word salad, but the threat, as with, I mean, I use a few sports analogies. Again, I was an athlete. Sports has changed. It continues to evolve. So does the cyber threat. So does technology. So we cannot continue to be stable. So my goal to keep growing that is to evangelize that hey, we need to keep moving forward, and to move forward, we need to continue to advance. And what we do is part of that advancement.
That's part of the plan.
Yes.
Never stop learning.
Yes, absolutely.
Never stop investigating.
Yes. Yes.
How do you overcome challenges when life throws them at you?
And this is something that's changed in my adult life. Try to have a seat in it, understand it, dissect it, the cause of it, how it could be avoided, how it can be avoided going forward, and then how do we get around it, if possible. If maybe we don't have to get around it, maybe you have to face it and evolve or adjust. But yeah, it depends on the challenge itself, and that, maybe even 5 years ago I might not have said that, but more and more experiences add to that.
Absolutely. Now, talking about your company more than anything, if you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant others, partners, bosses to go and try some new focus, new avenue?
From a professional perspective, I need to have all of my ducks in a row. I need to have good information that speaks to it, maybe somewhere else that's similar, that's shown success. I need to show how within our environment we're able to implement it and either mimic or exceed those successes of the others that I've shown, as well as the return on investment has got to be part of that to show the actual return to expect, and then the time frame. So ultimately, the level of effort it will take to get to what we would hope on the other side of that idea.
Okay, I understand. Now we talk about paid digital media and attracting business and getting faces to look at what we sell. Do you ever use any of the common Facebook, Google, or LinkedIn ads in your growth, or is that something that your target audience may not even be at that place?
So our company does use LinkedIn ads. We do use some Twitter. We have a YouTube channel. There are ways that we kind of get out more so where we are talking, what some of our customers are using to do well, that sort of alludes to us. A lot of it speaks to, because we're so unique, there's certain things that you need to do. And by the way, we do have some of those answers for you. So it's a part of the growth. We do have a marketing team that is actively pushing into those platforms on a regular basis. And then some of us, the staff, will piggyback and reach that into our networks as well. So
I understand. A lot of times when I'm talking to businesses, I'm always asking them the dollar questions about revenue and kind of picking their brains about how much you think we should spend so that others can see what success looks like. And you probably might not know the numbers, but the revenue you spend is going to give you ROI, or you wouldn't do it, right?
Right.
One of the things that we find is people overspend on ads because they don't know any better. They don't know that there's a lot better way to do it. And our particular focus is trying to save people money. We can give them the same results for 90 to 50% less expense. Or we can 5 or 10x their business with the same fee. You can grow or you can save. Now, I've always been a grower, not a saver in my business. But I think everybody has a different focus,
Yes.
I'm always asking my audience to think about, if you want to save money, there's a way. And if you want to make more money, there's a way. What advice would you give your 20-year-old self? You look back at the time where you didn't know nothing. You just got out of college, you were really green. What would you say now that you know everything?
It would sort of be inverse. I thought I knew everything then. I certainly know I don't know everything now.
That's the advice right there.
Yes. Yes, I would tell my 20-year-old self, and I've had this question come up a few times. I would tell myself to not give up on the dreams that I had so easily, to not be so quick to just pivot and avoid really the work that's needed to get to those goals. If you have, as I have had, and I still have, big dreams, there's a lot of work that it takes to get to that. So yeah, keep grinding, as I would tell myself, and don't try to avoid it.
Well, tell us first, what is the big dream you have, and then why is being impactful important?
So I have some dreams to build some things in my community and where I grew up, which is not where I live now, that will help the youth. So much like my grandfather was involved in a after-school program. He was the first president of it back when I was 3. And I want to do something like that, but in the STEM world, to give kids some other ideas of things that they can do and grow and learn. And being impactful, I mean, ideally, we're all examples in life. It's your individual choice of whether you want to be a good one or a bad one. And as I said earlier, I feel like it's almost like my born destiny to continue the legacy that my family did of charitable giving of themselves, their time, their energy, their thoughts. Frankly, I don't think I've done enough. I've got so much more to do, which means probably, if I'm allowed to do it, if that's what my mission is supposed to be, then I got a lot of time left on this earth. So
you're definitely a young guy. I can tell. Only 50-something.
Yes. So
where did you actually grow up? Where is your home?
I grew up on Long Island, New York, outside of New York City. I was born and raised up until college. So I haven't really lived there since then. But so I mean, where I live now, I've lived longer than where I grew up. But home is home, where you were raised. So
yeah. Virginia's not a bad place. I heard Virginia's for lovers. That's the theme, right?
Yes, that is the theme. Yes, the motto. Yes.
What do you want to be remembered for when it's all said and done?
Someone who cared. Someone who was a catalyst. Someone who gave, was known as somebody who got things done.
Now, tell us how we can support you. How can we find out more about Cymru and
That was
whatever
good.
else you got on that?
That was good. You said it right there. Uh,
After about 7 tries.
you've done well. You've done well. Uh, I guess supporting us. So anybody who is interested, and you don't necessarily, we have events that we do around the globe that are for cyber practitioners, and they don't have to be our customers. As I said, we also have a pro bono services we provide for information. Um, Folks in the cybersecurity community will say cyber is a team sport. So um, anything that you know, if you are a government person and want to know and understand what we might be able to do for you, reach out to me directly on LinkedIn or something like that. I'm there, and I think you're going to post some of this out into social media. Team Cymru is at cymru.com is our website. But yeah, just do what you best you can as an individual with cyber hygiene.
I like it. Brush twice a day, right?
Yes.
What would you say about your guest experience on the show? And also, I got to ask you, what sport did you play and where did you play it when you were in college?
So I'll answer the first question. First, I thought this was interesting. I really appreciate the opportunity to have this conversation. Honored to even be considered. I was looking forward to this. I was shocked as I am somewhat self-deprecating. So I'm like, why would you want to interview me? But I appreciate the opportunity. I played college football at the University of Maryland. So I'm a Terrapin. I was a 3-sport athlete in high school, so I had some options to play some other sports in college, but the 17-year-old Sean thought that football was probably my best route to continue. As I said earlier, I guess that was the plan anyway. The saying is, you make plans and God laughs. But yeah, so that was my background.
Great, good to know. I was interviewing a coach for the Hamilton Tiger Cats yesterday, and he played ball at BC, and he got to talking about he didn't quite make the NFL, so he did play in the CFL, and he did have a career, but then he works now mostly in bodybuilding, nutrition, and he's got a real good interview. If you want to go back and look at it,
Sure.
you'd find it as an ex-athlete. You'd find it real interesting, and athletes have a unique view of the world. I find, they're great at team. They're great at motivational aspects because they grew up being motivated by that dang coach every day.
Yes.
And you become a motivator yourself.
Yes. I told someone the other day who asked me about my career, and I said the first job I was hired in, that person who hired all my peers in that class, all of us were athletes or competitors. There was, I think, 15 of us. 12 were actually college athletes. 2 were in competitive band, and the third one was a competitive debater. And we all realized that one day and asked him why, and he said because competitors realize that you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days, but tomorrow's another day. Let's get back at it. And I said, we all sort of never thought of it that way, but you're right.
Yeah. Good points. Good points. I like it. I'm going to give you the final word here, and then I'll turn you loose to get back to protecting the world. Good to have you on, Sean. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. And I appreciate the time to share and talk with you. I just look forward to the next day and helping out.
Yeah, we will continue connecting. And I know what you're doing is very vital to us and the world. And we appreciate the effort. It's kind of like you're part of the unknown service.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Here's the final word from Sean Cooper.
Everybody, best to you all. Hopefully that we can continue to be helpful to each other. Be well.
All right. Thank you for that final word. Be well. What else could you have as a wish, a blessing upon us? So thank you for being a part of our show today. The Influencers Podcast is brought to 210 countries around the world. Hundreds and hundreds of people watch it live and thousands watch it recorded. So we'll get the word out about Team Cymru, and then we'll go from there to enjoy our day knowing we're protected, the cybersecurity world, hopefully by your team.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
You bet.
Okay.
I want to give you guys one more piece of information here. We want to go down to trim URL. The otrim.co/golden is somewhere I want everyone who's not a part of our team to become part of our team. So just write that down if you're following the Influencers Podcast, and go there and join my team. I want to give you a free entry into our ONPASSIVE Ecosystem. If you join in through this portal, it's a free entry. You can use the OMail, ONet, OTrim for free for life. You don't have to pay for it. And we have a lot of other progress that we're making on other programs that you can use. Many free, many are subscriptions. So I want to invite you all to be a part of our team through the Golden Portal. Thanks for being with us, and we'll see you all on the next Influencers Podcast. This is Dr. Bill Williams saying so long from Atlanta, Georgia.